Tonight, a special report on a deadly game being played out on the U.S.-Mexican border. We'll show you the hunters and their human prey.
We are in hot pursuit. We are in hot pursuit.
Aliens are live bait. I mean, they're just open field. I mean, who are they going to complain to?
If you caught him, you know you could have killed him. If you can catch him without killing him, that's even better.
It may look like war games to them. It borders on being engaged in real war.
They're novice militants, and they hunt and stalk and track the aliens. It becomes a game.
It's Japan's hidden secret, the buying and selling of tens of thousands of women and turning them into sex slaves.
The Yakuza. They specialize in the trafficking of women, drugs, and weapons.
The Yakuza distributes these women to each sex shop.
In Japan, everything is commercialized, everything is commoditized, including women's bodies.
$1,500. It's $500 per girl. And then we still have to pay the hotel, right?
Dirty business.
Good evening, and welcome to The Reporters. Those stories and a world champion you may not have heard of, Corey Everson, putting the body back into bodybuilding.
Men putting on muscle is more understandable. But with women, it's not necessarily the muscle you're putting on that's winning titles. It's your shape and your symmetry and your proportion and your look.
All that coming up right after this.
The Reporters is brought to you by Mountain Grown Folgers Coffee. The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup.
Today she gets room service. How tough can it be? She makes breakfast every morning. Let's see, coffee.
Even if you might not want to, you can't help but wake people up with the fresh mountain-grown aroma of Folgers coffee.
Great. Voila.
You made me breakfast in bed.
Well, coffee anyway.
The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup.
I want to see this dull, dry hair disappear.
Like magic?
Try some magic.
A touch of VO5 hairdressing's 5 natural conditioners makes dull, dry hair look radiant.
More manageable, too.
Try some magic.
VO5 for healthier-looking hair.
The fugitive, James Knoll. Police say he has a long history of preying upon vulnerable women. The victim, an 18-year-old actress who paid the rent by working as an apartment manager. The crime. Police say Knoll posed as a prospective tenant, then shot and killed Wendy Tarr. To date, your tips to America's Most Wanted have resulted in the capture of 96 fugitives. Help make James Knoll number 97. Watch America's Most Wanted Sunday.
These badlands between Tijuana and San Diego might be the most lawless stretch of real estate in the United States. Drug smugglers, gun runners, cutthroats, even murderers lurk in these dusty arroyos. And every night a small army of illegal aliens masses here, prepared to run that gauntlet. They know that if the banditos don't get them, there's a good chance the Border Patrol will. But what they don't know is that there's a new wave of hatred washing over sunny San Diego. American vigilantes clad in camouflage, ready to take their money or their lives.
Documented worker is a good man. Undocumented is a criminal, and he should be treated like a criminal. He should be hunted like a dog. If you can catch the humans, you can catch anything. If you caught him, you know you could have killed him.
I mean, there's no doubt about it. If you can catch them without killing them, that's even better.
Resist you, rough them up a little. A lot of times there are kids with the groups, and if you grab a kid, nobody's going to do anything.
There is no hunting like the hunting of man. The words are Ernest Hemingway's. Their legacy lives along the border. These are the hunted. Clutching small children, carrying their lives north in search of a dream and a minimum wage.
I'm working for San Diego. In Mexico, I don't have money because the working, not too much money. But here in LA, good work and good money and good life.
Get up. 827, Victor 6.
These are the hunters who wear badges. The U.S. Border Patrol, La Migra to the Mexicans, charged with turning back the tide of immigrants against overwhelming odds. But there are other hunters stalking these badlands, vigilante groups for whom the immigrants are human prey.
We are in hot pursuit. We are in hot pursuit. I say again.
What you are watching is teenagers in war paint, chasing down illegals as they run across the border.
Throw them on the ground. Get them on the ground.
As you'll see later, these children of war are just one example of the suspicion and hate that's epidemic in San Diego County.
Yeah, we are. We're going to set men there. We're going to set men here.
If the citizens don't help, who the hell else is gonna?
The citizens are angry, and some speak of taking the law into their own hands, including this family, whose suburban home sits in the path of the nightly migration.
The only way I could see that you could defend it's to carry a gun. What else can you do? You can't stop them from getting in your yard. You call Border Patrol, they come, they pick them up, and 100 more come.
Other citizens signed petitions and staged demonstrations to light up the border, protesting the largest invasion in the history of the United States.
When you have thousands of people milling over these hills right here, then something is drastically wrong. And we've complained for years, and nothing has come of it.
It's a border in violent convulsion, a no man's land of brackish swamps and bamboo groves, referred to by the locals as Little Nam. And like Vietnam, no war has been declared, but the casualties are mounting on both sides of the tortilla curtain. In the past 2 years, over 100 illegal aliens were murdered in San Diego County. The coroner lists 1/3 of them as John Does.
We document assault and abuse by customs agents, Border Patrol agents, combined agencies like the Border Crime Prevention Unit, which is police and Border Patrol. Over the last 5 years, at least in about 40 shooting incidents, at least 22 people have been killed and another 35 wounded.
Border officials are understandably defensive.
A Border Patrol agent uses his weapon absolutely as a last resort in order to save life. It's absolutely a defensive weapon, not an offensive weapon.
Defensive in the hands of Border Patrol agents, perhaps, but not in the hands of American vigilantes. For there is a new enemy emerging from the ravages of San Diego's age-old shooting gallery. Civilian paramilitary patrols. Their weapons, paint pellets, BB guns, even assault rifles. Our investigation into the dark side of the border begins with some vigilantes who are barely into their teens.
The aliens are live bait. I mean, they're just open field. I mean, who are they going to complain to? They shouldn't be over here in the first place. Personally, I have nothing against the illegal aliens, okay? But I'm not afraid to shoot them.
This teenager is a freshman at San Diego's Mar Vista High School. He and some other students practice war games after school. Some belong to the junior ROTC. But the games they play aren't part of the official curriculum. They're games played with people's lives, a game they laughingly call beaner hunting.
Beaner hunting. Also, you and beaner hunting, right?
beater.
We're called the Militia Corps.
Yeah, Militia Corps. I guess they call it beaner hunting.
Beaner hunting, as in Mexicans who eat beans, a common racial slur that's code for hunting down illegal aliens.
Hey, let's go!
It's like, I don't know, like an unwritten law, is people just do it. They go out there and play with them, steal from them, rob them, you know.
That's Jason, General Jason to his troops. At school, these would-be Rambos drill.
Order! Arms!
At the border, they hone their military skills.
Get out of here.
Yeah, I need a little bit more dark around the eyebrows.
Just go ahead and give it time.
2 in each platoon. But we're going to have to make sure that they're people that are...
You're R-17, my R-17, and you guys got 2 sniper rifles.
Right.
Let's go.
The teenagers let us go along on one of their recent hunts. With cameras rolling, including an infrared night scope, we followed them into the bush.
Get over here now.
Go down this trail. Go, go.
Get him. Go.
Go, 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 go. Keep moving. Go, go.
I want them.
The teenagers assured us that this was a routine patrol and that nothing was put on for our cameras.
We have beaner contact. We're chasing some right now. Okay, hold on.
Beaner contact. The words echo grimly as the hunters close in on their prey.
Montreal, crossing for a better life, usually.
But once the hunters came face to face with their all-too-human game, they seemed to lose their nerve.
He's got 3 children.
Tell them to leave right now. We'll just lead them to where to go underneath the freeway.
Make some money for America. I always wanted to say that.
Join the military. The military is pretty cool. You can chase your relatives just like us.
Moments later, the hunt resumed.
Roger, we got a couple here we're gonna snag right now, a couple beaners.
Alto! Finicky!
Like deer frozen in oncoming headlights, the immigrants sit stunned. They are herded, searched, interrogated, terrorized. For the hunters, a game. For the hunted, a nightmare.
I don't shoot them. We used to a long time ago. We did a couple times. And, I mean, yeah, what if we did shoot them? A BB gun, what will it do? Besides sting and hurt. At least it won't go through their body and kill them. I mean, they shouldn't be here messing. No, they just should stay over there.
We went to interview official agencies for comment. The San Diego Police Department declined to be interviewed about paramilitary patrols, while a spokesman for the Border Patrol flatly denied that there are teenagers out there hunting Mexicans.
Absolutely not. Not my responsibility. I haven't encountered that since I've been in the Border Patrol.
We were out with kids 4 nights ago, and they rounded up about 10. We had them with an old lady who I'm afraid is going to have a heart attack. We had them with a little girl. They admitted that they shoot these guys with paint pellets and BB guns.
Well,
and you're not running across any of this?
No, absolutely not. The judicial system is in place to take care of that sort of thing.
Yet the fact is, on the night we went out with these teenagers dressed for war, the Border Patrol stopped them twice.
If we get someone around in here trudging around the brush and they come across you, something could happen.
Both times, the agents drove away, leaving the teenagers to their war games. So, Jason, you think there's more groups out here that are doing worse things than you guys are doing?
There's other ones we don't know about. I mean, I'd estimate at least 10 other groups around this area, San Diego County, along the border. They shoot them actually with paint pellets and stuff.
Paint pellets, dye-filled capsules fired from guns called Splatmasters. They can cause serious injuries when shot at high velocity, but they're the weapon of choice for many who terrorize the undocumented workers, both at the border and in North San Diego County.
This is the shirt that Antonio was wearing when he was shot, and you can see it was a yellow kind of a paint, and this is the location where he was shot on the side.
My stomach.
Yeah, my stomach and in the hand.
Bueno, creo que, o sea, en un carro rojo.
I was shot by some individuals in a red car with live bullets, and then another car in back, a blue car, came up behind and shot at us also with bullets. So I was in really bad shape. dying practically from the injuries and being sick.
To protect their migrant workers, some San Diego farmers and ranchers have hired a security service run by this man, former Marine MP George Ruby.
In San Diego, North County alone, in the last 2 years, we've seen almost a 75% increase in the amount of crimes that are committed by U.S. citizens on migrant workers out here, even to the point of entering their camps and robbing them and committing violent assault.
As we walked through a migrant camp, he described the paramilitary goons who prey on the undocumented workers in their so-called spider holes and hooches.
People that are just dressed up in full military attire. They have cartridge belts, camouflage utilities. They carry automatic or semi-automatic rifles. The tactics are somewhat paramilitary as well. We'll find that they may lay all the victims side by side and force them to put their hands behind their back. And while one stands guard with the rifle, the other one continues on with ransacking the hooches.
So this is the pot of gold at the end of the North American rainbow. Tar paper roofs and plywood walls. These people are lucky enough to get across the Badlands down on the border to avoid the Border Patrol and the Mexican bandits. They come up here and live in hooches like this, where they're sitting ducks for a new kind of bandit, an Anglo bandit who preys on the perfect victims. Coming up, BB guns give way to bullets as hate crimes against illegal aliens turn murderous.
Mr. Kozlov, you are a cold-blooded killer, and there is just no other way to put it.
Vietnam-style booby traps set to terrorize and maim.
There's a trail like this that had a pitfall trap in the trail covered by vegetation so that when they come out of the water at night, not knowing that it was there, they just fall in it.
Something kind of big is about to happen.
You're with the Heineken Show. It's 4:55.
It won't change the world. It won't change your life. What it will change is how you think about 5 o'clock.
No, on the left, please.
Because starting at 5, the best value in long distance is AT&T's new Reach Out America plan. 25% off. On top of our evening discount. Everywhere you call, coast to coast, every weekday after 5. All the quality and service of AT&T for 25% less. No one else can match that value. Call now. Reach Out America from AT&T. The plan that saves you round the clock. Just change the clock.
Heather said we should go to the Gamma Del party, maybe break a few hearts.
Right.
She said,
I'm gonna let you borrow my new green sexy dress.
I said, can I borrow your body? I can't possibly wear a tube dress today. She said,
Why don't you borrow my Tampax tampons and stop wearing those bulky old pads?
I'll do it. So I did. She was right. Now I'll never need to borrow her body. But I will definitely borrow that excellent dress.
For the freedom, for the confidence, more women trust their bodies to Tampax.
Sunday.
Lisa, you look lovely. Bart, assume the position.
Meet Bart Simpson.
Were you going to listen to rock music in Sunday school? Maybe.
He's a chip off the old block.
The kick is up. It's got the distance.
It's good! It's good! The Simpsons at their Sunday best. Then Al Bundy's Straight Talk for Teens.
I've got much to say to America's youth. If I could just help one kid not marry, my job is done.
An all-new Married with Children right after The Simpsons Sunday.
Now you can get 4.8% financing for a full 4 years, plus $750 cash back. You get both on a new Ford Escort. It doesn't get any better than this.
If the bandit country along the Mexican border is known as Little Nam, then this is one of its Ho Chi Minh trails. On a fall night a little under a year and a half ago, 2 Mexican migrants were walking up this dirt path just north of San Diego. They were stopping at the farms looking for work. Right here they encountered 2 white youths in a flatbed truck. According to court records, 17-year-old Kenneth Kozlov stood up in the back of that truck, shouted, "Die, die, die," and emptied the clip of his semi-automatic rifle into both migrants. They both died in an instant.
They called me a psychotic killer because I was a paratrooper and wanted to go special forces and all this. Well, then we got thousands of, psychotic killers running around free.
Ken, do you ever think about the families of those two men you killed?
I guess it still don't bother me because, I don't even know if I did it,
You are here, and this case is here for two reasons. The first is hate. Mr. Kozlov, you are a cold-blooded killer, and there is just no other way to put it.
Last week, Ken Kovzalov was sentenced to 50 years to life in prison for murder. He told us he didn't remember what happened that night in November, yet at his sentencing, the prosecutor read Kovzalov's own words.
I was kneeling down, I popped up, I pointed, I didn't aim, I just pointed it, I started pulling the trigger, letting it bounce off me. I just started screaming, die. So you guys were out specifically looking for Mexicans to kill? Yes, sir. I don't like people coming across the f***ing border without, I don't like shit that we put up with in the United States.
Kovzalov was caught. More common are the unsolved hate crimes. George Ruby explains why the undocumented workers make the perfect victims.
Well, you're looking at an individual that's new to the country, in many cases not even a U.S. citizen, an inability to communicate. They don't speak English at all. Many of them are fearful of our system. They're scared of the police. They're scared, obviously, of Border Patrol. They're scared of U.S. citizens in general. They prefer to stay in their canyons and be tucked away. There's a lot of similarities, I suspect, to Vietnam in the aspect that our term is the bush. We're moving in the bush.
A bush studded with guerrilla weapons from another generation's war. Frightening enough in Vietnam, terrifying on U.S. soil.
When I first saw it, then obviously I walked over here to where the door was and looked through the little opening in the door, and there was a gun, what looked like a gun pointing at me. And of course there it upset me a little bit. I walked around to the back side, and I realized that the gun was tied to the front door, so that when the front door opened, then the gun supposedly would have gone off.
U.S. Fish and Wildlife technician Mike McGill describes the man traps he and refuge manager Mark Whitesall have dismantled in the Tijuana estuary, a swampy sanctuary for undocumented migrants creeping north to work in the fields.
There's a trail like this that had a 2x3 or a 3x4 foot wide and a 3 or 4 foot deep pitfall trap in the trail covered by vegetation, so that when they come out of the water at night, not knowing that it was there, they just fall in it. They play games with the illegals. They're playing games like it was a deer or a covey of quail, like you said, or some animal like that. That's what the people that's making these traps, yes, that's their game,
These could be ex-Vietnam vets, and they're trying to mimic their experiences in Vietnam. It's hard to say.
The analogy is apt, for there's a decidedly military bent to the twisted mindset simmering in San Diego. Listen to ex-Marine Buck Nolly and his co-worker, Bart Davenport.
You have a group of individuals that come out, and a lot of them, they're novice militants, and I say novice militants because they're being led and taught and influenced by ex-military people who know what they're doing, who know it as a profession, as a lifestyle, and they show them how to hunt and stalk and track the aliens. It becomes a game. So they go out there and they wait for them to come from one side to the other side. Then they go through and they do their little squad tactics of chasing them into this area while those guys over there shoot them.
So all you have to do is pull out any kind of weapon that can fire automatic rounds or semi-automatic rounds, have them all lay down on their backs, take their stuff, and then it comes to the fact, if you want to kill them, you kill them. And if you don't want to kill them, then you can either wound them or do whatever you want.
Yeah, and then they had Starlight, Starbright. Who do I shoot tonight?
Former sailor Ed Taylor, afraid to be recognized, claims to be a member of a Los Angeles-based secret society called Americans Against Illegals.
It's easy to track them down. They're running. And when you do catch them, the guy's going, just about short from going to the psycho ward. The guy's all scared because he's running. He ain't sure what's up. He don't know if he's going to live, die, what.
Another ex-Navy man, Ray Porter, says he first chased down illegals when he attended a San Diego high school.
If they come over illegally and you got them cornered
Get some rope. Tie them up. Call the authorities. Come get them. Whatever it takes. It is our job to protect our borders. As an American citizen, if you didn't, you'd be wrong. Because then you'd be letting a convict or illegal, which is the same thing, to come across into our country.
And former Marine Bill Foss gives a chilling glimpse into the strategy of these American bandits.
The noisiest ones are usually the first ones to get it, to usually get beat on, to make an example to the others to be quiet. And sometimes, like depending on the number of women, a few cases, rape. Children get it the worst, though. They'll tell the kid to run, and they'll shoot at him or slap him if the kid's crying. In some cases, they found bodies of children out there.
The hatred is real, no matter how far-fetched the stories sound. Bill Foss even suggested that we might want to see a raid. We declined. He did, however, introduce us to this man, a non-commissioned officer in the United States Navy, who claims to have taken part in midnight forays against undocumented Mexicans. Credentials: petty officer, 3rd class. Pedigree: father who is a high-ranking government official. Crime: admits to felonious assault. How does it work? Where does it start? Walk me through a raid.
It's all a military ambush. You want lever. You want speed, surprise. You gotta install fear in these people. If you don't install fear within the first 30 seconds, you're not gonna get anything. You put people on the ground, you abuse them as necessary, you take whatever they have, check them. And then you're on your way, you go home.
You've mentioned several times that you have to instill fear in these illegal aliens. Why don't you explain to me exactly how you instill fear in them?
A lot of it can be done by yelling, like I said, grabbing a child, grabbing a woman.
When you're out there and you're ripping babies away from their mother's arms, what kind of weapons are you carrying?
Yeah, I use a K-bar, military issue. Some people use switchblades. I've seen one guy use a machete.
You really don't have any feelings, do you?
They're not even people as far as I look at them. I know you're going to say that's cold and heartless and cruel and whatnot, but I don't even think about them as people. Think about them more as pieces of money.
I'm terribly shocked, but more than that, I'm frightened in a way.
That was Congressman Jim Bates' reaction when we screened the results of our investigation on Capitol Hill. Bates, whose district includes San Diego, has requested congressional hearings on border violence involving police agencies. If you hadn't already called for a congressional committee meeting on the border tension, would what we've already shown you here be enough to open a congressional investigation?
This certainly warrants more than just a congressional investigation and hearings. It warrants corrective action, follow-through, and even, I think, prosecution of those who would take the law into their own hands. And the fact that those who are charged with maintaining order on the border either aren't aware of these activities or aren't dealing with it is a little frightening.
As Bates watched our tape, it was the teenage hunting parties who moved him from shock to outrage.
I'm astounded. It's inappropriate, and it should be stopped. And I think the schools and the ROTC program and the parents and the kids should all be made aware that this is not, it may look like war games to them, but it borders on being engaged in real war.
Go, 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 keep moving, go, go. Hey, get over here. Go, they got illegals. My gun is... There is no sport in anything unless there is great danger. Hemingway again. 1 week after their human hunt, these hunters realized that women and children are not fair game.
I don't know, it's when we rounded up that I don't know, second or third group, and there was a little girl and a lady and a family, pretty much, and that was so sad, to see people that scared. It's wrong. I mean, I'd never want to do it again, and I hope the hell none of you guys do that again.
Despite the campfire, these teenagers seemed chilled by the memories of what they had done and what others still do.
Things are getting worse and worse. At least there's one group less that's going to be out there messing with people. I mean, if we see someone messing with them, we'll stop them.
we're all part of a paramilitary group, and in our world, which is hunting each other and just learning combat, rubbed off with the real world a little. We rubbed elbows just a little bit, and maybe just a little too much, and recrossed over to the other side of, well, let's hunt other people. And we just caught ourselves in the middle of this thing, and now I guess we're just trying to get ourselves back out.
Hunting humans is not supposed to happen here. At least one lawmaker has vowed that the results of our investigation will be incorporated into the upcoming congressional hearings on border violence. In the meantime, hundreds of undocumented immigrants, human beings, will continue to be terrorized, preyed upon, even killed by American bandits and vigilantes. Until the police agencies in charge decide to get tough with this perversion of justice, the Badlands on the border will remain an ugly blight on the American dream.
As we were completing that story, we received a statement from concerned high school officials who told us they intend to warn their students and parents about the dangers involved in the kind of border activities exposed in this program. They stress that the Sweetwater Union High School District does not endorse or condone such war games and indeed will support any investigation by the San Diego police. Coming up, Japan's shame. Tens of thousands of women imported as sex slaves.